the $1.75 billion app nobody wanted. Imagine someone gives you $1.75 billion to build the next big streaming service. Not million, billion. You've got Hollywood executives, famous celebrities, huge investors, and enough money to make almost any idea work. The goal? Build the next Netflix. Except this time, instead of sitting in front of your TV for hours, everything would happen right here, on your phone. Hollywood loved the idea. Major companies invested. Big-name celebrities signed up. Producers started making expensive shows. Everything looked perfect. And then, 6 months later, it was dead. Yep. $1.75 billion, 6 months, gone. So how does a company with that much money, that many powerful people, and that much Hollywood support disappear almost as quickly as it arrived? Well, first we need to understand what Quibi actually was. Quibi was the brainchild of Hollywood executive Jeffrey Katzenberg, and his idea actually sounded pretty reasonable. People were spending more and more time watching videos on their phones, but Netflix episodes were long, movies were even longer. So Katzenberg thought there was a gap. What about people sitting on a train, waiting for a bus, standing in line for coffee? They probably didn't have 40 minutes to watch an episode, but maybe they had 10, and that was the idea behind Quibi. The name literally came from quick bites. Take expensive, Hollywood-quality entertainment and chop it into short episodes designed specifically for your phone. Basically, Hollywood in your pocket. And investors absolutely loved it. Money started pouring in: Disney, NBC Universal, Sony, Warner Media, Alibaba, and others. Eventually, Quibi raised approximately $1.75 billion for an app that hadn't even proven people wanted it yet. But Quibi wasn't thinking small. It attracted major Hollywood talent and celebrities. Everything about the company screamed, "This is going to be huge." Imagine standing underneath a rocket loaded with nearly $2 billion of fuel. Everyone is watching. Hollywood is watching. Investors are watching. The media is watching. And on April 6th, 2020, Quibi launched. 3, 2, 1, and almost immediately, uh-oh. Because Quibi had launched at possibly the worst moment imaginable for its original idea. Remember those commuters? The people watching 10-minute episodes while traveling to work? Well, it was April 2020. COVID-19 had arrived. Cities were locking down, trains were empty, buses were empty, offices were empty, and millions of people were suddenly sitting at home. Which created a slightly awkward problem. Why would you sit on your sofa in front of a giant television and watch Hollywood shows on this tiny screen? But COVID wasn't Quibi's only problem, because even if people wanted short videos on their phones, there was another question. Why Quibi? YouTube already existed. TikTok was exploding. Netflix was already massive. And people had endless amounts of content available online, much of it for free. Quibi, meanwhile, wanted a subscription, around $4.99 per month with ads, with a more expensive ad-free option. So imagine you're the customer. TikTok, free. YouTube, free. Stuff your friends are sending you all day, free. Quibi. That'll be $4.99, please. Nah. And there were other frustrations, too. At launch, Quibi was heavily focused on mobile viewing. The whole selling point was that this was entertainment specifically designed for your phone. But that also limited how people could watch it, especially at a time when everyone was stuck at home. Suddenly, Quibi wasn't just fighting for people's money, it was fighting for their attention against some of the biggest entertainment platforms on Earth, and money couldn't solve that problem. As the months passed, the excitement began disappearing. The rocket that looked unstoppable before launch was running out of fuel. Then came October 2020. Just around 6 months after launching, Quibi announced that it was shutting down. Think about that. Years of planning. Some of Hollywood's most powerful people, huge investors, major celebrities, and roughly $1.75 billion raised, all leading to a streaming service that survived for about half a year. It's tempting to look at Quibi and say they just needed more money. But that's what makes this story so interesting. Money wasn't the thing Quibi lacked, they had plenty of it. What they couldn't simply buy was demand, because you can hire celebrities, you can hire executives, you can produce expensive shows, you can spend millions on marketing, you can raise $1.75 billion. But there's one thing even billions of dollars can't guarantee, that people will actually want what you're selling. And Quibi learned that lesson very, very expensively.